Have you ever wondered what really makes you, well, you? What are the deep forces that drive you, the ones that keep you in check, and the ones that lift you up? We're about to dive into a really ancient and cool way of looking at ourselves and the world through 5 core elements. So, let's get into it. I just love this opening line. It really sets the stage, doesn't it? And we're not just talking about, a literal fire. It's about that initial spark, that flicker of desire, of energy, of creation that gets the whole ball rolling. It's a beautiful place to start thinking about the fundamental building blocks of everything. All right, so first up, let's meet the main characters in this story, the elemental players. And I want you to think of them less like abstract concepts and more like living, breathing forces that are actively shaping our world and shaping us. So here they are, the big 5. You've got fire, which is all about that spark and desire. Then there's water, the very essence of flow and flexibility. Air, the unstoppable force of constant movement. Earth, which is our foundation, our stability. And finally, space, the huge open container that holds everything else. These 5 together are the bedrock of this whole system. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. These elements aren't just sitting in their own corners. Nope, they are locked in this constant dynamic relationship. Think of it like a dance of power and balance. So let's take a look at how they actually control each other. And when you hear that word control, it might sound a little harsh, right? But in this system, it's not a negative thing at all. It's actually totally essential for harmony. I mean, without these checks and balances, one element could just go completely wild and create chaos. This is what keeps order, both in the universe and, you guessed it, inside of us. Let's start with a classic matchup, fire versus water. Think about fire's raw energy. It has this endless desire to just grow, expand, and consume. It's a huge force for change. But if that fire starts to rage out of control, that's when water steps in. It's got that natural ability to cool things down, to calm the flames, and if it has to put the fire out completely. Think about it in people. Someone with a lot of fire energy, without a little water, might just burn out or burn a few bridges. Okay, so if water controls fire, what controls water? Water is all about that smooth, flexible flow. But if it has no direction, it just becomes a stagnant puddle. And that is where Earth comes in. Earth provides the structure. It's literally the riverbanks that give the water a path, a purpose. It turns a potential messy flood into a powerful, life-giving river. Now this relationship, this one is fascinating. You'd think air is just totally free, right? Moving wherever it wants. But fire has this really unique power over it. A big enough fire doesn't just use the air, it actually consumes it. It creates these powerful currents that pull the air in, basically telling it where to go. The fire literally burns up the air, taking complete control of its movement. And for our last pair in this dance of control, we're going big, like cosmically big. Earth is solid, it's stable, it's physical form, but what holds it? What directs its path through the universe? That would be space. The sheer vastness of space is what contains our planet, holding its movements in a certain direction. It's the ultimate container, giving all physical form its context. So, we've seen the whole dance of control, but believe it or not, that's only half the story. The elements don't just put limits on each other. They actually help each other grow and thrive. It's a system of mutual support, so let's check that out now. This is a perfect way to understand it. Let's look at fire again. It all starts with its nature, its desire to burn bright and expand. Then comes the nourishment. What does a fire need? It needs room to breathe, and that's what space provides. And when it gets that nourishment, it leads to fulfillment. The fire gets to be exactly what it's meant to be. This is about more than just surviving. It's about having what you need to be fully yourself. Here's another key idea, grounding. We tend to think of air as totally free, untethered, right? But it actually needs a foundation, a home base. And Earth provides that. It gives air a place to stay, a platform to push off from so it can start its continuous movement. Without the Earth, the air has no context. An air person who's full of amazing ideas but has no grounding, they might feel scattered, like they can't make anything happen. So when you pull back and look at the whole shebang, you see this absolutely beautiful web. It's all symbiotic. Fire gives its heat to help the Earth grow. Air helps form water. Space gives fire the room it needs to burn. And Earth gives air that foundation to move. Every single element is both giving and receiving. It's a perfectly interconnected, self-sustaining system. We've seen how all this works out there in the world, but now for the really fun part. It's time to bring all this inside. So the question is, what is your element? And this is the crucial point right here. This whole elemental framework isn't just some cool lesson about nature. It's a powerful metaphor. It's a map for understanding all the different energies that are buzzing around inside of you. Are you driven by that fiery passion? Or are you more about the flexible flow of water? Maybe the stability of earth, or the constant movement of air? And more importantly, what happens when those forces get out of balance? And that brings us to the final thought, the one I really want to leave you with. You see, it's one thing to figure out your dominant element. That's cool. But the real insight, the real magic, comes from that second question. Just think about it for a second. If you're a fire person, all passion and drive, what keeps you balanced? Do you have a person in your life who acts as your water, helping you cool down when you need it? And what about support? Who or what is your space, giving you the room you need to actually grow and be yourself? This isn't just a personality label. It's a living, breathing map for your inner life and for the relationships that matter most.